Randy Arozarena doubled into the left field corner last time up. He's walked and struck out today. A bullet off the glove of the shortstop Smith last night to win the ball game for the Mariners in walk-off fashion. There he is stepping out before the pitch got to the plate. Then the pitch was outside, ball one. You know what? I guess whatever works. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Steps out again. And it's ball two. New to me, Rick. Help me out. You got anything?
First time we've talked about it before. I don't know why he doesn't, but he's got to be very confident hitting with one strike or two.
Here's the 2-0. Stepped out again. Ball three.
Wow. 3 in a row. That's a first.
I hear you.
We've never seen him do that 3 pitches in a row.
Well, maybe he's looking for a cookie right here, 3-0. Hope he mashes it. Let's see. 3-0. He looks loaded there. Here's the pitch. And there he goes! Oh, baby! Left field! Facing in the upper deck! Randy Arozarena! He got what he wanted! A 3-0 cookie, and the Mariners lead 5-0! Wow!
Sometimes a hitter sets up a pitcher. And I think that was a classic example right there. He steps out, ball one. He steps out again, ball two. He steps out again, ball three. I'm swinging. And Garabito comes in with a strike, and he just mashed it off the facing of the upper deck in left field. Holy smokes, what a shot by Randy Arozarena. And by the way, he's a 2020 guy for the 4th time in his career.
But Randy baited the trap, and Garabito took it hook, line, and sinker. And goodbye. Goodness gracious, that was amazing.
Man, if you can't respect that shit right there, man, then this show ain't for you. Welcome to the best MLB prop show on God's green earth. I'm your host, Sharpie's Bets, and it's Tuesday. And man, may September keep blessing us, God willing, fellas, because damn, are we hot. And let's not change it, fellas. Please, let's not change it. Let's just stay to the script. Let stuff go. And I had to have a talk with myself today too, because it's like I almost started alting things and doing stuff, and it's like there's a lot of guys. I mean, I capped 8 different guys today, and I'd say half of them are the exact number they're put at. And it's like, man, maybe I need to not press and just play the spots where I have mass action or think I've got a bigger advantage than where the books are offering. And I've already bet an over for the dart throw at the plus 350. I wanted to bet like 3 unders today. And let's get to it, fellas. We also have ribeyes with Mike. So let's just cut the small talk and get to the monies. On this show, we will talk the opening lines of pitching props as well as the closing K prop line 30 minutes prior to the show going live. So do me a favor, if you like what you're hearing, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button as well. Blake Snell at the Orioles, striking people out at a 33% clip while walking people 11% of the time. Morning line, 7.5 plus 115 on MGM. Best line available, still on MGM to that 7.5, but now plus 110. His outs are at a 17.5, pretty much a pick 'em, whereas earned runs are at a 1.5, minus 135 juice to the over. Projected lineup, as I don't think that one came out, though it is one of the first games. Let me refresh that, because I'm interested in this lineup, still not out for me, is 6 righties and 3 lefties. Blake Snell, guys, gets the Orioles where we need to pay attention to the weather, even though it has been going in his favor. But at the time of this write-up at 10 a.m., it was showing a 23% chance of rain, and it does show a storm coming later on at the end of the night. And the last time I checked about an hour ago, it's actually showing that at least 2 hours, if not 3 hours, should go with maybe some showers, but not even real rain. So Blake Snell shouldn't have to worry about rain, but it's something that if I bet him, I will check at least an hour before game and make sure everything is copacetic. So let's go check how the Orioles are, guys, over their past 200 plate appearances. And they're walking tops in the league, only striking out 22% of the time, yet they're not hitting for the life of them with a bottom 8 ISO. And what does worry me some, guys, just looking at the overall numbers, is the walk percentage of the Orioles. as they are tops in the league and Blake Snell likes to walk people. Not saying it's a bad thing, guys. It's the dog in Blake Snell, guys, as he just refuses to give in on 3-1, 3-0. He's not going to give you a fucking cookie like we just seen on the opener today. He is going to compete and still throw what he believes is his best pitch. And he can walk the bases loaded, and he's shown it, guys, and still not give up many runs. The dude has put away shit. He believes in it, and he will go to the well more often than not. And that's okay, in my opinion. Sometimes it will get you in the trouble. Can it get him in the trouble today? Yes, it can. But let's talk about what the Orioles do that play into Blake Snell. They're projecting to run 3 lefties, which he strikes out righties at an elite 32%, but dominant lefties more, I'd say 90% of the time, because Cole Ragans doesn't. Scooble used to not to, but more often than not, dominate the left-handed side of the plate. And Snell's striking them out 36% of the time. So I don't think we get 3 lefties, but it's something that we do need to pay attention to. Also, his walk percentage goes up 4% versus lefties. So it's like, damn, we get more strikeouts, but we also walk more batters. So it's not going to hurt if we get less lefties. It's going to save us a couple more pitches. Now, not counting the games that Bailey hasn't caught Snell, guys, on this run that Blake Snell has been on, because Bailey has been a main reason behind because he's been the catcher in those games more often than not that he has shined in. In the one game where he got cracked, 2 games he didn't do well in that he should have, Bailey was not behind the plate. Bailey was on the IL. Well, Bailey should be behind the plate today. And when we look at him, he's only walked people 3 or more times in 2 of his games with Bailey. And those times that he did walk 3 or more, he had 10 plus strikeouts in each of those games. That goes back to what I said about him just not willing to ever give in, even if he walks the bases fucking loaded. So let's go check Snell's plate discipline metrics. And he is elite at zone contact as well as chase contact, with being 4% better than league average at getting people to chase. Now, the issue with Snell goes to his walks, which plays into zone percentage. Snell is out the zone 5% more than league average. So when I run this projected lineup, I'm going to run it for chase. As if you chase, good luck with this man's chase contact, as well as zone percentage, as we need guys to swing out the zone. And in this lineup, we only have one guy who is super patient, with 3 being league average and 5 being worse than league average. So let's go see who will chase. And then we got 6 of the 9 that'll chase worse than league average. So I go pitch by pitch, guys, and see what these guys will whiff to Snell's pitch mix, which is fastball, curve, slider, add a changeup into righties. And I come up with 7 on a bad day. His K prop is a 7.5. I have 3 dead spots when we look at the whiff, but yet 2 of those 3 guys chase. So can he get those guys if they're going to chase? Yes. Because Snell, the whiff comes to being inside the zone. It doesn't come to outside the zone. Whiff is inside the zone. We only got one guy that should be a problem in Rochman, where I think 8 is very doable. But like I said, I do have 7 on a bad day, and I need the lineups to come out if I bet them. I think the number's right, spot on. I have him for 7.5. Like at worst, and I don't know if I'm going to play him today or just let him be, but it's over and nothing with Blake Snell in this situation, with the amount of chase and the amount of people in this that will swing at pitches out the zone. That is definitely in favor of Blake Snell. Then we get to a guy where the line has full-blown moved. And I was on the phone with Noli for 2 hours before this show, just typing it up and talking baseball with him. And I'm like, bro, can I pay up minus 154 for an under? And he goes, bro, it's fucking telling, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, bro, but I don't like paying minus 150 for an over, let alone a fucking under. But man, one of the reasons why we're so hot in September, guys, is because I probably bet just as many unders as I have overs, because if I would have bet all of them, I'd be even better. But yesterday I stayed off of 2. I mean, I had Senzella for 2 strikeouts. It was under 2.5, minus 150 for the under. I'm like, I'm not paying minus 150. Fucker goes out and only gets 2 strikeouts. I had Lopez for under 5.5. Did I bet him? No, I stayed off of him. Did I bet freaking Arrighetti? You damn right. So I just need to get more comfortable with paying juice. And Zebby Matthews gets the Guardians. He's striking people out 22.5% of the time while walking people 4% on the year. Morning line was 4.5 plus 132 on FanDuel. Best line available is now 3.5 minus 135 on DraftKings. Pitching outs is 14.5 minus 170 to the over, with his earned runs being 2.5 minus 135 to the over. Has been bet down to about even money. Lineup is out, 8 lefties, 1 righties. The only thing that was different from the projected is Kwan is still not in the lineup, and they put Martinez at the top. Zebby Matthews, the number 5 prospect of the Twins, gets his shot at the Guardians, who over the last 15 days, they've been the Guardians, a team who doesn't walk, cannot hit for the life of them, yet tend to not strike out. And they are striking out 22% of their at-bats. Zebby may have an issue on his hands today, guys. That issue being these 8 lefties that these Cleveland Guardians are going to run. Lefties crush this man. 120 points better when it comes to batting average, 220 points better when it comes to on-base percentage. And the crippler, guys, is his slugging numbers. Versus lefties, it's a disgusting 500 points higher. I mean, as well as his K percentage drops 3% versus lefty, which that's what we're looking at here, guys. And we have Cleveland, who sends out on any given day 7 to 8 lefties, and today we got 8. Not even putting out his home road splits, guys, because if you look at them, he's had 2 games on the road. Can't put much into it, but they were versus teams like the Guardians on the road, the Padres and the Royals, where he had 1 and 4 strikeouts respectfully. So the question is, guys, is how do we fade him? As I was looking to take his strikeouts under from the get-go. And that may be the way, guys, as then we have another way that he can exit this game and that we can cash it under is he can get the shit kicked out of him and be pulled and not hit it, because the Twins are in a playoff race. They cannot allow this guy to get the shit kicked out of him. Or the Cleveland Guardians can be the Cleveland Guardians, which is a really good contact hitting team, guys. And when we run the projected lineup, guys, I ended up coming up with 2.5 strikeouts for Zebby Matthews. They were offering a 4.5 minus 150 juice to the under, and Kwan was in the lineup. When I take out Kwan and put in Martinez, Martinez is also like Kwan, elite in zone contact, elite in chase contact. The other thing I need to look at is his zone swing percentage. Yet he does take pitches. So he's going to get the 2 strikes. He's got good zone contact, chase contact. He goes to a half then. So then the 2.5 turns into a 3 now with Kwan for Martinez for me. And the fact that it's been bet from a 4.5 to a 3.5, guys, I missed out. Like it sucks. It is what it is. I think the number's fucking right now. Like I thought I was gonna get the 1.5 wiggle room that I like to ask for when it comes to a strikeout prop, whether it be an under or an over, guys. Because yesterday, did I count for Luis Arias striking out the first time in August since August 10th? No, but I have my oh shit room, which is my wiggle room, to where if one thing goes bad, okay, but the rest of my capping still needs to be on point. So at the end of the day, Zebby Matthews being bet down from a 4.5 to a 3.5 is right. I'm going to have to dig through this lineup maybe a little bit more to see if I decide to take the plus money shot on the under. It's still under or nothing, as I think 4 is his best day. And that may be a half unit shot for me. So after this show, I'm going to have to contemplate it, look through the lineup again, see where they're projected. I don't think he goes through the lineup more than twice, but even if he does, the top 5 should be really tough. But Martinez should not strike out. So, but I have him for a half because he takes pitches. With a guy that's in the zone so much, if you're going to take pitches, you're going to see 2 strikes. So the zone contact, chase contact is elite. It may come down to the umpire if I take the half unit shot with the under on Zebby Matthews, but that's not the only under we're going to talk today, fellas. We're talking more unders than we are overs. But what we're gonna do next is talk about balls that are gonna go over the fence, not in your mouth, not on the table, but over the damn fence and cash you some home runs and RBI props at the same fucking time. So without further ado, guys, let's get to Ribeyes with Mike with the last Megalodon.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
What up, what up? What up?
What up, though, man? Another day, another dollar, bro. How you been?
Been grinding, man. A grind. I'm disappointed about my Eagles last night, but the under was the play. We nailed that thing down. We nailed it like a split hog. Let's go.
Let's fucking go, bro. Someone in there said my audio was going in and out. I don't know why. I hope it hasn't been like that this whole time, but yeah. Haven't bet nothing. Talked freaking Blake Snell. Close to it, but I think the number's right. And I wanted the under Zebby Matthews, but it went from 4.5 to 3.5, and I got to do some more contemplating on that one. But I thought I had clear-cut advantage on the 4.5. Now I'm freaking pressing up to his best day being 4, in my opinion. And I don't like losing right now. It's September, bro. It's been too good.
I know.
Good.
It's like that time of the season. You don't want to give anything back here. It's about closing big and taking names with us. You know what I mean? We certainly don't want to get that black book and take some guys out of it this time of the year.
Man, it's crazy how spot on they were with like Raggins, with Snell, with Wheeler, with a lot of these big name guys, bro. When I did my math and everything, I come up with that number, and it's like, you sons of bitches. So I started thinking, do I alt them? No, I go bet these guys that I have advantages on. Like, so what? Zebby moved from a 4.5 to a 3.5. I got a guy I got projected for 1.25 strikeouts. Okay, let him move to a 3.5. Or wait, he is a 3.5. It's like, bro, he won't watch him move to a 2.5 on me. Oh, fucking son of a bitch. But
been there, buddy. I've been there. I hear you. You know, I missed a couple.
I'm not an under better, bro. That's what's so hard.
I know. I missed a couple moves myself, and I'm like, shit, how did I miss that? But I caught one last night, and we're going to go right back to him. But you know what? You just talked a little Zebby Matthews. So let me talk a little Zebby Matthews opportunity here. Let's start the card off with this Cleveland Guardians game and see if we can't find a way to get some cash.
Play every lefty in your DFS.
There's a fucking ton of them out there on this side. I mean, holy shit. And I looked at it and I get it. I mean, it makes a ton of sense. You did a great job with it, talking through it. And yeah, it's a bad day for the Zebmeister. Especially when you look at the fact that he's got a nice little sandwich spot. 2 lefties kind of bolting in the switch hitter in last year's favorite, Jose Ramirez. Now, he's the lowest price point on the card for me. I don't like to get below 140s. He's at 135. But I got to do it. I mean, he's leading the team in every hitting category, home runs, RBIs. He's at a 9-for-9 spot with making contact. He's got 9 hits in 9 games. Then you look at Zebster. He's terrible. He's bad against righties. He's got the 263. He's even worse against lefties. I mean, terrible. 386 going on out there. And, you look at the last week of effectiveness for Jose Ramirez. 7 days, 28 at-bats, 5 runs, 9 hits, only 1 ribby. Only 1. And we got a guy rolling in with Matthews who's allowed a 20% barrel rate, a 71% hard hit percentage, 31% fly ball percentage in his last 50 against lefties. Bad day for Zebby Matthews, plus 135. You got to take a shot with that home run at plus 425. You absolutely have to. I think there's going to be some scoring in this game. It's Cleveland. I know this can certainly fall off the rails, but man, why the hell not? You got to take this guy. Go with Jose Ramirez. He's going to open the card up for us. What do you think about that?
Yeah, pretty much like what I said, 120 points worse batting average against when it comes to lefties. Yep. His on-base percentage goes up over 200 points, and his slugging goes up 500 points. I've never seen that drastic 300 to 800 slugging numbers. Oh, my God. I mean, damn, bro. I was like, man, dude, this dude's going to get bludgeoned today, bro. But It's the Cleveland Guardians. That's my only. There has to be some say-so back. They ain't hit nobody. I mean, fuck. So can you please, if I bet him under today, just get him out the game real quick. Punch him hard in the mouth, Jose Ramirez.
Right off the gate. Right off the hop. One swing, one home run.
3-banger, bro, because 2 people are on.
Let's go.
Go ahead.
I'm going to the next game. I'm going to go right back to him. Yesterday, I brought up a name that probably a lot of people were like, who? Jose Iglesias, not Enrique Iglesias. I don't even think there's any relation there, but Jose Iglesias, 10 for 10 hits his last 10 games. I talked about what this guy's been doing in that Mets uni out there, and he does it again last night. 366 batting average, 840 on base percentage. He goes up to a 380 at home. This is the guy that we crushed the line value on yesterday. We put him in there at plus 235. He moves up to the number 1 spot in the batting order mid-show that I was doing. He drops all the way down to a 160 on the RBI scale, and he gets it done for us. He goes 2 for 4 with that Ribeye against the Nats on Monday. No reason not to go back to this guy here. Literally, you mentioned Ribeye, and then you got Iglesias, I think are the number 1 and number 2 hottest hitting batters right now in the last 7-day sample. Give me a little Jose Iglesias, a little Jose Ramirez, a little Jose Iglesias. Here you go, plus 247.
247.
47. Yesterday, everyone was like, who the fuck is that? Today, we're going right back to him, plus 950 for the home run on top of that as well. I think there's runs in this game. This number's pegged super low, and I don't get it. I don't understand why we're seeing it be so low, but I'm not going to argue with it. I'm just going to go right back to my guy. This price point after what he did yesterday, nailed the call yesterday, and no reason not to go back again today. You know, the lefty matchup in Mitch the Bitch Parker. Well, that's okay. That's okay because our guy Iglesias crushes lefties. So 245 against righties, 279 against lefties, batting in the start off role again. I like me some Jose Iglesias.
I'm not the funniest guy, bro, but I had to play me some Jose Iglesias Mets. He made his own little freaking song, bro. I had to get it. I'm sorry.
That's our guy, man. We're gonna go. Let's go on to another guy there that I dropped in yesterday. Didn't get there for us. Weird game. I don't know what the fuck happened because they were cruising, and we get 9 runs into the 5th inning. But then everything just kind of the bottom literally fell out. And I don't know how there's no explanation for what happened there. They just stopped scoring. Now, we were all over that Cubs team total yesterday. We talked about this home field and the scoring potential that was out there exploiting that pitching matchup. We're going to go back to Cody Bellinger. I don't know what happened yesterday. 9 runs, he wasn't a part of them, but he should be good to go again. This guy is the hottest batter out there in that trifecta with the rise. But in terms of on-base percentage, a 1.113. He's got a 320 batting average over the last 7 days, and he just missed yesterday. He just didn't get it done in a score fest. Abso-fucking-lutely, we're going back to this guy. And today might be one of those days where I just kind of go and smash around a bunch of home run spots because his home run is 900. He's 155 on the RBI meter, plus 155, but he's at 900 to drop a bomb stick out there. Man, there's going to be some
talking about.
Cody Bellinger.
Oh, okay, my bad. I'm fucking high over here.
You're good, dude.
Looking at baseball.
I said it like, how can you be questioning? Cody Bellinger's the fucking guy. Let's go. 155 for this guy. Now, I'm going to give you both of these guys. I'm going to go with a little extension here. I love those 3 plays that I just gave you guys, but there's a lot of fun, like nailing a guy like the call with Iglesias yesterday. That's a lot of, it pays great. It's unique. And it was a ton of fun to see this guy come to life. I'm going to look at this. Little Dodgers Marlins matchup. I'm going to go deep on this one. I'm looking at one Griffin Conine. Probably going, who the fuck is he talking about? Yeah, he hasn't played a ton. He's come out by way of Duke, spent some time in the Toronto and Miami systems. What I like about this is, first and foremost, I expect runs. I expect runs for this Marlins team at home. We know that the home over trend for the Marlins is real. And who they're going to go out there and smack around? It's Bobby Miller. When we look at the lefty-righty matchups, Bobby Miller's equally bad on both sides of the stick. He's got Griffin Conine coming in there as a lefty, only 37 at-bats. I get it. But his last 6 games, 8 at-bats, he's got a run. He got a hit in there. He's hitting that 350 at home as well, so he plays a little bit better on the home turf, albeit it's a new, young up-and-comer here, but 247. Now, the reason I'm giving you both of these plays here is because I think you got to play them at least for a half a unit together, not just one or the other, because I think one of these guys has a shot to get it done here. But, man, look, Conine, the Barbarian here in Miami. Miami drafts hitters incredibly well, right? We know Tampa does a great job with pitching. We know Miami does a great job with batting.
What was his RBI?
It's plus 247. 247. Here's the funny part about this, though. This isn't just a throw a dart at the board and close your eyes and hope you hit the center. When I gave you Iglesias and his home run numbers at plus 950, then you look down at the scale and you see Ramirez, his home run numbers plus 425. Griffin Conine's home run number for this guy being in the bottom of the order, it's only plus 650. Weird that it's kind of sitting right in between two of the hottest hitters in baseball from a home run perspective. I think he goes bomb or not, but if he does go bomb, we're catching that 247 with a Griffin Conine play.
I can't even say that Bobby Miller's good. I can't even back that up or anything. I can't even pretend like he's good and say, well, he's going to fuck Bobby Miller. All right, go ahead.
He's bad all around.
So
and then let's
bad.
go, last but not least, let's go with this extra. This is an extra little fun spot as well. We're going to the who the fuck is this category. Once again, we're looking at the Kansas City-Detroit game. Now, I talked about Bobby Witt, and I talked about the stick starting to come back around for Bobby Witt Jr. Is it a lot of fun cashing a plus 118? It's fun to cash, but you're not going to be able to reap the benefits long-term in that model. But if we look at the other side of the bat, we look at the Detroit Tigers. Wow, they came alive yesterday. They went out there. I was on the Kansas City side of things. I did not expect to see the struggle fest that was, but I started looking at these numbers. I started looking at it's Cole Reagans. I certainly like me some Reagans opportunity here, but I was looking, let's get cute. Let's have some fun with another guy that's coming up here. And, again, you got to, in my opinion, you got to play both these guys because the risk reward, if one of them hits and the other one doesn't, you're going to be sick. And I've been there plenty of times, but I'm looking at a little Trey Sweeney. Yeah, him.
He's not even in the projected lineup.
I see him in my projected lineup. I see him down there in the 8 spot as well. So when I was looking at this guy overall on the bats, to me, I think he's going to get in there, and I think these numbers are going to drop. Now, if he doesn't get in there, well, no risk, no harm, no foul here. But let me just look. Let me look.
So I got mine.
Yeah. You're right. All that fucking time I spent looking at this guy.
I'm sorry, bro.
Time.
But yeah,
no, I appreciate you saying it. I'd rather get there.
I mean, I've done the whole lineup already, so I'm like, bro, I didn't do no Sweeney, and I rechecked. I'm like, yeah, man, he in the lineup.
No, I see him not there now. Well, there's no play. Keep that guy in mind, though. Again, his RBI was 333.
Those were projected, so he may be in the lineup. So they do it just in case.
So 333 was the RBI. 1250 was the home run for this guy. Now you look at that 1250 buried in the lineup. It's very much a similar situation to Griffin Conine. But yet his home run number is 1250, right? That's where I looked at Griffin and I was like, I got to play this guy at that 247 and 650 number. But yeah, keep your eyes on Trey Sweeney. If they do get him in the lineup, look, this guy, he's playing for Detroit, right? He kind of went to the barren wastelands of Major League Baseball. That being said, though, he was crucial in trades between the Yankees and the Dodgers. He was the 20th overall pick in 2021. It's a guy that you look at out there, and what was he doing? Now, Double-A, obviously not the same thing, but he was rolling 252. He had a 367 on-base percentage as well, 13 home runs, 20 doubles, 20 stolen bases. It's a guy that just gets out there and moves. He was a big key component in those trades, as I mentioned, between two marquee teams. And he's been getting walked. He got walked almost 14% in minor leagues because the pitching staff against this guy is concerned. They get scared when they see this guy come at their at bat. And if he's not in there today and he goes in there tomorrow, then play him then. At this point here, I just like a guy that's a young up and comer with a huge risk return. And, Eastern Illinois doesn't excite me. would I prefer him not played at Eastern Illinois? Sure, down in the Coastal Carolina League or something like that. But he hits a 303 on the road. He's got a 333 on base percentage. He's got 8 RBIs this year. He's got 4 RBIs in his last 18 at-bats as well. So keep your eyes on some Sweeney. I know, unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to make the lineup today, but that's projected. So let's see if they do confirm him in there. And if they do, get yourself some Trey Sweeney action in your life.
Get yourself some Trey Sweeney. Get yourself some of that Sweeney. But no, listening to a few of their games, they do have a little bit of hype about him, and they're hoping he pans out. Definitely, like you said, he's coming from the Dodgers and the Yankees, so they're like 2 really good farm systems, and and yeah, they just want you to do good so they could trade you, bro. So
Yeah.
that's all. That's all, bro. But then again, you don't want to be like Vargas over there sucking and not being able to get traded to where you want to be on the White Sox buses in minor league. Oh Lord. Oh, because you on your way, kid. But yeah, brother, as always, appreciate the insight, all the bombs you dropped in, and you went with some big bomb skis today. So let these fine people know what you got going on and where they can find you.
Fuck the bookies all the way up tonight with this action that we've got here, guys. At Pimp Slap POD, you know it. Shout out to you guys in the chat. I see Justin. I see Noli Knows, man. Appreciate you guys rocking. See you guys rolling around with what we're doing. Underrated World. Check us out over at Sports Money. Sports Money. We go live tonight. Live for Dana White Contender Series. Man, I said this last week. I'll say it again. You don't want to miss the banger. 4 fights last week. I went 4 for 4 on sides, round props, and finish props. Over 22.5 units last week in Dana White Contender Series. Just from your boy here. And I expect to do it again tonight. So let's have some fun. I'll see you guys later on. Appreciate you, Sharpie.
Appreciate you, bro. I'm over here constantly clicking lineup.
Megalodon, the size of really 2 school buses. Are they extinct? Are they extinct?
That's the big question.
What's the new evidence now? A satellite photo near Sao Paulo. When you compare them next to the first photo, I'd say that's a 70-foot shark.
Yeah, let's get back to talking baseball. Casey Mize at the Royals, striking people out this year 17% of the time, while walking people 5.5%. Morning line 3.5 plus 130 on DraftKings. Best line available was still 3.5, now like plus 135. Is it gone to a freaking 2.5 yet? That's probably on its way. Casey Mize, that's plus 125. Minus 150 on the under right now for the 3.5. That might be the one I have to take, but let's talk it. Casey Mize, guys, outs are 15.5, minus 145, juice to the under. Earn runs 2.5, minus 140, juice to the over. Projected lineup 5 righties, 4 lefties. And like Noli said too, he's probably got a really short leash. Same to go with Zebby Matthews, guys. Two guys that are in playoff contention. And they cannot afford these guys to get the shit kicked out of them. Once they're going to get into trouble, expect to see bullpens, especially when they have a good bullpen like Detroit, or at least they have been good. Let's talk it. Mize gets the Royals for the 3rd time this year, where in none of his first 2 games, guys, did he make it past 5 innings of work, never having more than 2 strikeouts in a game. And we get a Royals team, guys, who over the last 15 days, they are not walking, striking out near 23% of the time with a bottom 10 ISO. Yet those numbers are a tad bit skewed in my opinion. The Royals, guys, depending on what lineup they send out, can be a over or under type of lineup. And for that reason, I have to wait for lineups on this one. Guys like DeJong and Renfroe, guys, are guys that scare me to death when I'm on an under. But yet we can also get guys like Garcia that is on the projected bench that I'll even love even more if they're in if I'm on the under. And that's the way I'm looking, guys. This lineup has 5 righties and 4 lefties projected, where Mize's best K percentage versus either side is versus lefties, but it's only 19.5% and drops off 5% versus the right-handed side. We also have Mize on the road, guys, where his K percentages drop 3% compared to his home K percentage. So it's looking like a prime under spot just by off past history, just by off of how he is. So let's go check what Mize has a problem with when we look at his freaking plate discipline metrics. We see a guy who pounds the zone 3% better than league average, with terrible zone contact, about league average chase contact, So I'm going to go run this projected lineup for zone swing percentages. If you're going to be in the zone, okay, then I'm going to compare it to the zone contact because, man, we want guys who swing in the zone and who make contact in the zone. Now, if they take, we want to pay attention more to the chase contact because you're probably going to see a little more pitches that are going to be breaking balls when you've got that 2-strike count. And what I get, guys, and what we need to pay attention to is this lineup is stacked the way it is projected. When we look at the guys who swing in the zone and match it up the zone contact, we come up with like 1.25 strikeouts to 3 on his best fucking day. And what I'm talking about here, guys, is there's going to be 5 of the 4 projected that do take pitches in the zone. But of those 5 of the 4, all of them have great zone contact and only one of them has bad chase contact. So we could probably expect Pham to strike out, and then we can expect Melendez to strike out. Other than that, there is a whole bunch of dead spots. As Witt and Perez both swing at pitches in the zone, have at least league average or better zone contact and elite chase contact. Macy takes pitches, but yet he's elite at zone contact and chase contact. And that's what we get pretty much through the whole bottom half of the lineup, guys. So I will be looking to place Mize under. Then again, I said I've got to wait for the lineup. I cannot bet it if freaking they put in DeJong and guys like that. There's just certain guys that scare the shit out of me, but yet there are certain guys that'll make me feel a little bit better. So looking to bet Mize under 3.5, even if it is minus 150, it's not my fucking ample like, oh great. But dude, unders have been too good. The work is there. I've got the wiggle room on the 3.5. I've got this guy for 3 on a best day. I've got him for 1.25 strikeouts. So pretty much 1 to 2 strikeouts. I got to play the 3.5. Let's go to Zach Wheeler. Striking people out 28% of the time. Morning line was 6.5 minus 154 on FanDuel. It was 8+ everywhere else. Pitching outs were 18.5 minus 190 to the under. Earned runs were 1.5 minus 145 juice to the over. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties. His K prop now is 7.5 plus 125 to the under, which I get that. Let's talk it. Wheeler gets the Brewers, guys, for the second time this year. We're back in June. He went 7 innings, 1 earned run with 6 punch-outs. And when we look at the Brewers' numbers versus right-handed pitchers over the last 15 days, they're walking top 3 in the league, striking out just 22% of the time with a top 5 isolated power. I know the K percentage is real, as they are a team that will work counts and have been all year. But the top 5 ISO is what's got me making me to go look and see who have they seen. And the only pitcher that I would look to bet on in the last 15 days they've seen is Sonny Gray. And he went 7 innings, 1 earned run, and had 7 strikeouts. They did see Hayden Birdsong, who has sucked ass all year, and I tried to fade him again versus the Brewers as it worked the first time. Yet he went 5 innings of no-run ball on less than 70 pitches. So what I'm getting at is, guys, is those hit numbers are a tad bit fraudulent, as they have picked on middle of the pack to end of the rotation type of guys. So can we run Wheeler today? Well, first off, we do have a red flag at the beginning. FanDuel was a 6.5. Everywhere was a 7.5. That doesn't mean a damn thing, guys, personally to me, until the lineups are out. That's when it means something. And I pay attention more to FanDuel than anything else, guys, because they tend to be the sharper book. That tend to play into the public, understanding they're going to get a little more money on them, and they have the better chances of it not happening. So, can I play Wheeler, guys, at the 7.5, as that's where he is at today, guys? And I get the 6.5 or the 7.5. So the line really didn't bother me, but FanDuel having it at 6.5 was like, okay, his win percentage to the 6.5 with how the Brewers are playing, fine. 7.5 win percentage, fine. Everything makes sense in the number. And we go look at Wheeler's plate discipline metrics to see, okay, what does he struggle with? And man, Wheeler is like a very odd person this year, as he's in the zone 1% more than league average, which will help you versus a patient team like the Brewers. He has elite zone contact, and he has elite chase, but yet he is 4% worse than league average at chase contact. So we got to go run this projected lineup for chase contact, and we have 4 guys who are at least 2% better than league average at chase contact. Yet one of them has some decent past history that says he is going to go down to Wheeler, as Hoskins in his 25 at bats has struck out 8 times. So with the past history, guys, we can say it's 3 guys who are elite at chase contact, and 2 of them guys are in this projected 8-9 hole, where Frelick has struck out 2 of his 6 at bats. That's just not enough for me to say like Hoskins, where he's seen him 25 times. That's a legit number. Excuse me. So, guys, we got to go look at the whiff on this team, because the other guys that do have bad chase contact and have seen him have struck out half of their 12 at bats or 3 of their 13. So it's saying Wheeler has action. And I come up with 7.5. And I think they're sharp. I think that's exactly the right number, guys. I think it's over or nothing. It may be, in my opinion, pull down to a 7, and team total under type spot is, I don't believe they're hitting. And like I was saying, the Noli too, though, the number's telling. The minus 135 on Wheeler is very telling. It's either Wheeler's going to get touched or Montas is going to match Wheeler. So maybe the under 7.5 is a dead under. Maybe it's a 2-0, 1-0 type of game after 6, because I don't think Wheeler's going to get hit. And I say the strikeouts are over or nothing because the two of the 3 top tough guys in what they whiff at and the chase contact going with the whiff are going to be in the 8-9 hole, as well as being the first guy up to bat. So the meat is in the top part of the lineup, where if you look to play as outs, yeah, he can hit it, but I think it's over or nothing. And I don't hate if you're on the over here, guys, especially with the plus money you're getting. And I may pull it down to 7 with the team total under. And that's probably the way I'm going to go. I just got to wait for lineups until that one comes out. Then we're going to talk one more guy until I just break down a couple guys and give you one of the bets that I do have in, because I had to bet a guy. But we've got to go talk us Hunter Brown at the San Diego Padres. And it's still the same number as where he opened up at, pretty much. He's striking people out 25.5% of the time while walking people 8.5%. Morning line was 4.5 minus 132 on DraftKings. It is now 4.5 minus 135 on DraftKings to the over. Pitching out 17.5 minus 200 juice to the over, whereas earned runs are at 82.5 minus 145 juice to the under. Projected lineup is 5 righties and 4 lefties for Los Padres. Hunter Brown gets the Padres, who over the last 15 days versus right-handed pitching have been the Padres all year long. One of the best teams in the league at not striking out, yet they are not walking and have a top 5 ISO. Now this one, guys, is not as cut and dry as taking Arrigetti's under yesterday. As yesterday, we only needed to pay attention to chase. As well as Arrigetti being a 4.5 for the first time in 10 games, it is the same with Brown, but it's the first time in 16 games. Today, guys, he is a 4.5, where he has hit that 8 of his last 10 games. Now with Brown, guys, when we look at his plate discipline metrics, we see he's pretty much league average in the stuff I look at. He is in the zone league average, 1% better than league average at zone contact, and 1% worse at getting people to chase, with his chase contact being the worst thing he struggles with, as he is 3% worse than league average. So when I run this projected lineup, I'm going to run it for zone contact, chase, and chase contact, with paying attention to his splits, where he strikes out lefties 27% compared to 23% from the right-handed side. So when we look at this lineup, we see 8 guys who are league average or better at zone contact, with 3 guys worse than league average when it comes to chasing. We also have 7 of 9 who are league average or better at chase contact. And I come up with 3.5 to 4 strikeouts off of just 3 guys in this lineup. 2 of those guys are projected in the 8-9 hole. So the over is going to be real tough, guys, when you see them just 2 times. And this may be a spot I let be, guys, as I do think the line is right. Yes, I have him for 3.5 to 4, but there's something in my gut that tells me, man, he's got the one pitch that I have seen in person. Granted, this is a team without Luis Arias and Profar playing the way he's seen, but Machado and Tatis right now, I do have Tatis going down at least once, if not 2 times. Cronenworth and a few like there's some guys on this team that struggle versus the knuckle curve. And if his knuckle curve is dancing today, guys, he can hit 5. But it's under or nothing, and I may just let it be, guys, but oh, everything in my stuff says under, but there's something telling me like that knuckle curve, Sharpie, man. If that's dancing today, there's some guys that are going to swing at it and they will strike out to it. I think the number's right. I think 4 to 5 at best, guys, is what he gets today. I'm not willing to bet that either under or over. The lean is under, but I see the over somehow, some way. I do see 5, so I will leave that under alone. What I will not leave alone, guys, is Shane Baz. I'm on the over Shane Baz 5.5 strikeouts for a full unit at even money, and then I took the dart throw at 8+ at plus 350. When I go through Shane Baz's plate discipline metrics, we see throughout the years, granted it's been small sample size with his Tommy John surgery in between, he's always been better at home, like most Rays pitchers when it comes to strikeouts. And then you look who he's seen. He's seen some murderous rows, guys, that are teams that are really good at zone contact. And what I mean by that is he's in the zone more than 3.5% than league average. When you got teams like the Padres, the Yankees, the Royals, these teams that he's faced, they're really good at zone contact, with a lot of them being really good at chase contact. And when we look at Baz, he is pounding the zone. He's about league average in zone contact, and he has elite chase contact. He just has problems on getting people to chase. So I run this Red Sox projected lineup, which became the actual lineup, and I'm looking for zone swing percentage. I'm looking for guys that do not swing and that are going to take. And I've got 6 of the 9 that are league average or worse at taking pitches. You want to take pitches versus a guy who pounds the zone? Nah. Now, when I go to zone contact, I have 2 guys that are better than league average out of the 9. And then when I go to chase, I have 3 guys that are better than league average. Everything just through that says, okay, we can go run his pitch mix. He's 4-seam, slider, curve, change up to the lefties added in there. And damn, he's got action at everybody for Yoshida. When I take in the zone swing percentage, and I'm paying attention to zone contact for the guys that do swing early. And then I'm taking in the chase, because if you chase versus this man, good luck. And I come up with 7.5 strikeouts for Baz today on a bad day. I think Shane Baz has got action today at his most strikeouts he's had all year. I think it's the right team, and it's also a team striking out at a good clip. That has nothing to do with my cap. We probably get a 4.5 if the guy wasn't freaking facing the Red Sox, who are striking out at a 27, 28% clip over the last 15 days. But the zone swing percentage, zone contact, chase, all favors Baz. His pitch mix, everybody but Yoshida whiffs to 3, if not 4 of the pitches that they're going to see. He pounds the fucking zone, and that's where whiff is. So, yeah, I think that ground ball percentage that he's had this year goes down a little bit, and his strikeout percentage goes up. And that's why I took the dart throw on the 8+, as I do expect. Like I said, I had 7.5 for a bad day. May have went a little bigger than what I should. That's between me and Jesus Cristo on the 5.5. But I think Shane Baz shoves today, and definitely am on the over 5.5 strikeouts at even money. Another guy that I am going to look to bet, guys, is Cole Ragans. I think the number is right. I have him for 7.5. They have him at 7.5. And yeah, sometimes you just got to let guys go if you think it's right. Because I was debating on pulling them down and fighting with myself about that. And it's like, no, sometimes they're right. They could be right. And I believe they are right on Hunter Brown with the 4.5, where I thought they were shithole wrong with Arrighetti. I knew it was going under. I had him for 3. He got 3. Did I have Arias going down? No, but I had my wiggle room, my oh shit room. And I need to make sure I have my wiggle room when it comes to my overs, when it comes to my unders. And like I said, I have my wiggle room with Boz. I got them for 7.5. They have 5.5 down. Shit goes bad. I still have action at getting 6. I have Casey Mize right now for 3 on his best day, realistically 1.25 strikeouts. I am willing to pay the juice if this is the lineup we get. Zebby Matthews, the line moved on me from 4.5 to 3.5. If I do bet it, it'll be a half unit bet, as I think 4 is his best day. And that's at the plus money, and depending on how the lineup stacked, I got to reback and look at it and see how they are. It's under or nothing for me. I'm not going to bet an over when I think 4 is the most he's going to get. So definitely going to be having some action today. Needing me some lineups. Right now we are on Shane Boz over 5.5 at even money for a full unit. And yeah, let's have us a day, fellas. Let's just keep it rolling. God willing, it stays going. And yeah, buy a boy a baseball. If you were late to the show, enjoy this at bat because it's fucking classic.
Randy Arozarena doubled into the left field corner last time up. He's walked and struck out today. A bullet off the glove of the shortstop Smith last night to win the ball game for the Mariners in walk-off fashion. There he is stepping out before the pitch got to the plate. Then the pitch was outside, ball 1. You know what? I guess whatever works. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Steps out again. And it's ball 2. New to me, Rick. Help me out. You got anything?
First time we've talked about it before. I don't know why he doesn't, but he's got to be very confident hitting with 1 strike or 2.
Here's the 2-0. Stepped out again. Ball 3.
Wow. 3 in a row. That's a first.
I hear you.
We've never seen him do that 3 pitches in a row.
Well, maybe he's looking for a cookie right here at 3-0. Hope he mashes it. Let's see. 3-0. He looks loaded there. Here's the pitch. And there it goes. Oh, baby. Left field. Facing in the upper deck. Randy Arozarena. He got what he wanted. A 3-0 cookie, and the Mariners lead 5-0. Wow.
Sometimes a hitter sets up a pitcher. And I think that was a classic example right there. He steps out, ball 1. He steps out again, ball 2. He steps out again, ball 3. I'm swinging. And Garabito comes in with a strike, and he just mashed it off the facing of the upper deck in left field. Holy smokes, what a shot by Randy Arozarena. And by the way, he's a 2020 guy.